Hey everybody, I wanted to make a quick YouTube video to talk about the recent interview between Jordan Peterson and Michael Saylor. If you're not familiar with those two people, don't worry, this still is really relevant to your future. But specifically, they're talking about Bitcoin, of course, with Michael Saylor being involved. And there was a key part in the part 2 of the interview that was behind a paywall on Daily Wire that's gotten out to the internet now. And there was a clip statement at the end as Jordan Peterson's wrapping it up. And he talks about how many hours you should invest spending time to learn about Bitcoin versus how many hours you might have to work for the rest of your life. And that's really what I'd like to hit on in this video. So I'm going to share that clip with you now.
Does this free you from the shackles of the, demented parasites and globalists? That's what it sounds like. So it's probably worth checking it out. What's Michael's advice? You're going to spend 100,000 hours working? You might want to spend 100 hours learning. So take the advice and clue in, and maybe that'll be the best thing. Maybe that'll be one of the best decisions you ever make in your life. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so what Jordan's referring to at the end there is that you are going to spend about 100,000 hours of your life working. If you work about 40 years, it's about 2,000 hours a year. Let's say it's 80 to 100,000 hours. He's saying take 100 hours and focus on Bitcoin for a little bit. And what that might do is make a light bulb go off in your head that makes you realize the way that you are currently spending that 100,000 hours is likely not going to give you the life that you're hoping. It's likely not going to bring you your first home, your family with kids and all these types of things, because there are actors working against you, taking those things away silently that you're not even aware of. And those actors are central bankers manipulating the currency and pulling your value and productivity out of the system continuously. Every day there's inflation going on, and those metrics that are measuring it are corrupt. They do not represent true inflation and debasement. And so if you're always wondering why you can't get ahead or why you can't achieve this next goal, it's really not your fault. It's the reality is that our money is sick, and fiat currency is a corrupt, manipulated way to store human value and human productivity. The inverse of that is Bitcoin. It's a scarce bearer asset. There can be no more supply created. It can be held individually, privately, secured, where nobody else can access it. It can be sent secured privately where nobody else can stop it without a third party, node to node, wallet to wallet, anywhere around the world, 24/7. It is a human invention that is going to change the financial world for at least the next couple decades, if not the next century. So you should definitely invest 100 hours of your time to learn about it. Go to hope.com, listen to some Bitcoin podcasts, read some books about Bitcoin. There's so many different venues and different ways that you can learn about Bitcoin. If I was to recommend a book, the first one would be The Big Print by Larry Lepard. It's a fantastic book that just came out at the end of last year. If you're not into the book, just go on YouTube and research any podcast with Larry Lepard, whether it's an interview on any different channel. They're all great. He's a really smart guy that has converted from the traditional fiat world, and he's been a sound money guy in gold, and has found that from fiat to gold to Bitcoin, he's gone through that evolution and really dove into Bitcoin, and is a champion for Bitcoin now. And so somebody with that level of insight about sound money decades ago, before Bitcoin was even a thing, is really a good person to learn from to get started in this space. So go check out the book, check out any interviews with Larry, and then if you have any questions about Bitcoin, please ask them on this video. I'd really like to start a grassroots effort with this channel to talk about anything and everything related to Bitcoin. at really a first floor level with people. A lot of the bigger channels out there, you can't get engagement with the person you're watching or listening to because they simply have way too many, followers. They have hundreds of thousands of followers in some cases, and they can't get back to every little comment. So my intent with this channel is to talk about Bitcoin content, personal finance, economics, those types of subjects, and relate that to the grassroots effort, which is decentralizing and securing the Bitcoin network for future generations to come. Your responsibility to study Bitcoin never ends. Thanks.